I was walking down the street, and there was this Disney store, and outside there was this guy dressed as Michael Wazowski. Oh, that's strange. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Michael Wazowski, Monsters Inc. You know that? Yeah. Mike Wazowski. What's wrong with Mike Wazowski? He's like so goofy and funny. He's just like great. Oh, please don't say Mike Wazowski again. Dude, you're acting like way too strange since the last time I saw you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Nice seeing you. Wait. Where you going, dude? I just was talking about Mike Wazowski. Okay, see ya.
What you just saw there was a man. A man suffering from Wazowski phobia, also known as the fear of Mike Wazowski. Many know Mike Wazowski as the adorable, funny, goofy, circular, green, one-eyed monster character from Monsters Inc. But what they don't know is there is an illness plaguing the nation that makes many horribly, horribly afraid of this fictional character. To some, they may see Mike Wazowski and see a fun, goofy character that reminds them of their childhood, but to others, they see the pure embodiment of demonic evil. You may see something fun and goofy. Others see a black, dark, empty nothingness. Don't believe me? Let's look at the facts, shall we? 15 million Americans suffer from Wazowski phobia, the fear of Mike Wazowski. 15 million. That's more than 14 million. Now you may think, okay, so if the fear of Mike Wazowski is just a fear of Mike Wazowski, then all you have to do to treat this illness is stay away from Mike Wazowski. Don't go to Disney World. Don't watch Monsters Inc. I wish it were that simple. But unfortunately, it's such a horrible disease that anytime you see something that remotely reminds you of Mike Wazowski, you immediately die. It's horrible. So anything that could remind you of Mike Wazowski will send you spiraling, such as a green apple, or a green bowling ball, or a green bouncy ball. Think of all the jobs you couldn't have if you had Wazowski phobia. You couldn't work at a grocery store, because if you have to go into the produce section and you see a green apple, you're on the floor. Couldn't work at a bowling alley, because if you gotta, clean the bowling balls, and one of them is green, you're on the floor. Couldn't work at Walmart, because every time you gotta go fix the bin with all the bouncy balls or whatever, and there's a green one in there, you're on the floor. Or something with one eye could remind you of Mike Wazowski, such as a cyclops, a pirate, a penis, You couldn't even walk down the street, because every time you see a cyclops, you're going to think, oh my god, why, Mike Wazowski, on the floor. You couldn't work at Disney World, because every time you got to go fix the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, you see a pirate, and you're on the floor. And if you had Wazowski phobia, you couldn't even be a hooker, because every time you gotta suck a dick, you see the one eye, you think Mike Wazowski, and now you gotta quit your job. What a shame. A prostitute would have to quit her job. What a shame. Damn shame. And unfortunately, the disease does come with many side effects. Not only does it have an effect on your mental, emotional, and spiritual state of being, but it has many other side effects that are other illnesses. Definite side effects include gonorrhea, depression, schizophrenia, insomnia, AIDS, sleep paralysis, smegma, cannibalism, Ebola, cancer, spontaneous combustion, bone shrinkage, turning into a catfish, inability to play Mario Kart, allergic reactions to foods that start with the letter J, vacuum cleaner, vomiting golf balls, doo-doo head, testicle growth in the armpit region, thinking that Greta Van Fleet is a good band, growing two heads, velociraptor toes, which are where your toes turn into velociraptors, a pretty self-explanatory disease. The name kind of says it all, really. Other side effects are loose dick, marshmallow teeth, ukulele face, 20-inch black dildo, candy corn flavored anal lube, ball gag, black leather whips, 4x4. Oh, that was a list of things that my wife gave me to pick up from the store to spice up our experimentation in the bedroom. I'm sorry you had to see that. That was quite embarrassing. I must have mixed up the lists. Our therapist said we should venture off with our sex life a bit more, because we've been going through a rough patch, and I just want things to work, because I don't want to lose her again. I love you, Karen. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. The happiest I was when I woke up with you that morning in Europe, Italy. It was so beautiful. We knew so little then. We know even less now. Anyways, another side effect of wazowski phobia is a side effect that people say that your chance of whether you go to heaven or hell is greatly determined on whether or not you suffered from wazowski phobia while you were alive. There is no scientific evidence to back this up, but I'm 100% certain it comes from a reliable source. And you're probably thinking, why do I care so much about this disease? Well, what sparked my interest in curing this disease is I had a friend who suffered from wazowski phobia. He was a good friend of mine. His name was Zach. Zach was a good man. Until one day, the illness struck him. It was as instant as an angel's kiss, but in and out like a demon's whisper. And then it was a part of him forever. No escape. Every morning he'd wake up in a cold sweat with the pale image of Mike Wazowski's face right here in the front of his mind. And no matter how hard he tried, it just kept coming back. It got so bad he couldn't leave the house. He couldn't even go to the bathroom, because every time he would open up the toilet, he would be afraid Mike Wazowski would be in there, looking at him like this, like, oh, give me that butthole. Ha! It was horrible. He actually got so bad to the point where anytime he had to leave the house, he would have a shotgun with him, prepared for Mike Wazowski to attack. Well, one day, a man in a green jumpsuit came running down the street, and it was such a blur. The man was so green, he didn't have his contacts in, and he thought it must be Mike Wazowski coming for me. And he ran, and the jogging person just kept running, because, he was jogging. And he was like, oh God, that's it, I can't take it anymore. And he turned around real quick, pulled out his shotgun, and shot the man right in the heart. And then shot himself, because he realized that he just, shot a dude. So 2 innocent people died due to this illness. Enough is enough, guys. I've also been legally obligated to tell you that Zach was a heroin addict and had been in and out of prison for the past 2 years, but I feel like that information is irrelevant. Now, thankfully, we are working on preventing and stopping this illness. There actually was a mental health care institute opened up to work with this specific illness. The institute was called the Mental Health Care Institute for people who are afraid of the fictional Walt Disney and Pixar character Mike Wazowski from the 2001 film Monsters, Inc., or the MHCIFPWASOTFWD DAPCMWFT 2001 FMI for short. Unfortunately, it was shut down back in December due to a lack in government funding. The reason for this lack of government funding is unknown. However, they are planning on opening up a second institute sometime this summer, and this one will be called the Mental Health Care Institute for people who are scared of the fictional Walt Disney and Pixar character Mike Wazowski from the 2001 film Monsters, Inc., Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, or the MHCIFPWASOTFWDAPCMWFT 2001 FMI P2EB for short. Has a nice ring to it. Now you're probably thinking, how can I prevent this illness? What can I do? Well, we have started a website where you can donate money that will go directly to preventing and stopping this illness. You can find it at www.stopthefearofmikewazowski.gov. There you can donate all your money and just do everything you can to prevent this illness. All your money, like I said, will go directly to people working hard to stop this illness. So please, open up your hearts and open up your wallets and give us your money, please. Because our motto here is don't be lousy, stop the fear of Mike Wazowski. I'll leave a link to the website in the description where you can read all about it and get more information and help stop this horrible illness. Thank you very much, and Godspeed.